you. Director Conant? Director Abdis?
Here.
Director Jones? Director Jones? I saw her on here. I wonder if she's having sound troubles. Director Holloway?
Here.
Director Shaw?
Here.
Director Ashby? Director Ashby?
Lindy, this is Director Jones. I was having audio trouble.
Okay, thank you.
Lindy, can you hear me okay? This is Angelique.
I can hear you now. Thank you, Director Ashby.
Okay, you got it. I'm here.
Chair Harris?
Here.
Director Jennings? Director Desmond?
Here.
Director Hedges?
Here.
Vice Chair Kennedy?
Here.
Director Natoli? Director Cerna? We do have a quorum to start. Thank you.
Thank you, Lindy. I think we'll start with a pledge. Director Desmond, would you mind doing the honors?
Of course. Please stand. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Rich. Appreciate that. And Lindy, do you have announcements?
Yes, thank you. This meeting is being recorded and will be aired on Metro Cable 14 on Friday, November 19th at 2 p.m. and will be on Safeca's website along with the action summary within 48 hours after the meeting. Members of the audience that would like to address the board, please remember to identify yourself for the record and limit your comments to 3 minutes. And just as a courtesy reminder, if you are not speaking, please leave your microphones on mute to help avoid excess noise. Thank you.
Very good. And do we have any public comments not on the agenda?
Chair Harris, I have not received any public comments and have just checked my email again.
Thank you very much. So we can move into the Executive Director's report. And Mr. Rick Johnson.
Good afternoon, members of the board. Chair Harris, thank you for the opportunity to talk. I just have a few things real quickly. Then if you go to the next slide, I've mentioned before that we've been in the process of getting new ASA, Assistant Secretary of the Army for Civil Works, confirmed finally on November 4th. He was finally confirmed by the Senate. And so this is actually the head policy person in the Corps of Engineers. Very important for us, as that's where we go when we have policy issues or need approvals for things like our agreements. And as I've mentioned before, Mr. Connor did serve as the Commissioner of Reclamation while the Joint Federal Project out at Folsom was under construction. So he is somewhat familiar with SAFCA and our issues here. So just wanted to let you know that he's finally confirmed by the Senate. Lindy, if you go to the next slide. On November 5th, the House of Representatives finally passed the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act. That was the Bipartisan Infrastructure Act that the Senate had passed earlier. And the President signed it into law on November 15th. And he even went so far as to execute an executive order on its implementation. That's how much emphasis he's putting on it. Now, there was a pot of money in there for the Corps of Engineers to do studies, and they are to develop the equivalent of work plan. They called it a spend plan in the legislation to provide within 60 days. So we're working very hard to see if we can get some of that funding to get the comprehensive study of the Yolo bypass started. So just wanted to make you aware that that happened, and we're hoping to get some funding to get that study started on that one. And then finally, on the next slide here, as I mentioned, the infrastructure bill was finally passed on November 5th by the House, and so they were able to recess for the following week. So Congresswoman Matsui came back, kind of, she wanted to get out to see some of the construction. So give the Corps of Engineers credit. They were able to put something together and get her out there on November 10th out to Pumping Plant 3, or she could see some of the construction going on in Natomas on Reach B there. So I just wanted to make you aware that she was able to get out and see some of the work, which was good for us. So that's all I had. I wanted to tell everyone to have a good Thanksgiving and see if there's any questions.
Any questions from directors? Yeah, Rick, I actually have a question.
Sure.
The work on Reach H wasn't in your report. Is it pretty much complete right there around Interstate 80?
I think they still have some work on some retaining walls to do that's going to slop over into next year. Let me see if John Bassett, are you on the line?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, could you give a little more detail on that one for me, please?
Yeah, the core is in part buttoning the site up for the winter, so some of it may be a little misleading if you don't see a lot of work out there. But they do have cutoff walls south of 80 and cutoff walls north of 80 that we don't expect them to accomplish until next year. I don't know if they are ready, and I'm kind of interpreting your question a little bit. I don't know if they are ready to close out the RD 1000 staging area just south of 80 there. Well, we can make that inquiry to them.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of where I was going. They look like they're still very energetic up there. And if they're buttoning up for the winter, they might want to retain that site for a while longer. But if you could let me know, that'd be great. Thank you, John. Appreciate it. And that's my only question, Rick.
Okay, thanks. Thanks, John, for helping on that.
Okay, we can move on to consent.
Hey, sorry, Jeff, one more thing on, with regards to, pumping plant number 3, obviously having that pumping plant offline is, obviously impeding, some, ability to, some pumping capacity for RD 1000, really putting the focus on, pumping plants 1A and 1B, for pumping water out of the basin on that side of the basin. So I think, Rick, you've been in discussions with our general manager, Kevin King, on this. This continues to be an issue that is, of some concern. Just want to make sure that those discussions are ongoing with regards to assuring that pumping plants 1A and 1B can continue to function to pump the amount of water that we're going to need to out of the basin without having number 3 online. So,
Yeah, we're going to set up a meeting with the appropriate folks over at the Corps with Kevin to talk about how they're going to approach 1A and 1B. But the Corps is also looking at what they need to do to bring some backup help in for pumping plant 3. So they're aware of that.
okay, good to hear that, Rick. Thank you.
Okay, any other comments?
Move to approve. Conant.
Okay, we didn't announce consent, but let's go ahead and announce that consent items 2 through 5 are on the table here.
Thank you. Consent items 2 through 5 are in order, and I have a motion by Director Conant.
Natoli with second.
Director Natoli.
Any comments, questions? Go ahead and call the vote, Lindy.
Thank you. Director Conant,
Aye.
Director Avdis,
Aye.
Director Jones,
Aye.
Director Holloway,
Aye.
Director Shaw,
Aye.
Director Ashby,
Yes.
thank you. Chair Harris,
Aye.
Director Jennings,
Aye.
Director Desmond,
Aye.
Director Hedges,
Aye.
Vice Chair Kennedy,
Aye.
Director Natoli,
Aye.
Director Cerna.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes with 13-member approval.
Next item.
Our next item is separate matters, item 6, which is a public hearing. Resolution of necessity number 2021-107, continued from the October 21st Board of Directors meeting, authorizing an eminent domain action to condemn real property interest for the Reach A component of Phase 4B of the American River Watershed Program, Natomas Levee Improvement Project. A fee interest acquisition over a portion of Sacramento County Assessor's parcel number 274-0220-073, located at 2050 Garden Highway in Sacramento, California, 95833. Property owners Linda Susan Parr, trustee of the trust for the benefit of David Donald Parr under the D. Donald and Alice E. Parr Revocable Trust dated February 3rd, 1993. Linda Susan Parr, trustee of the Linda S. Parr Revocable Trust dated January 4th, 2013, and David D. Parr. And Director Harris, staff recommends that this item be dropped from the agenda.
Thank you, Lindy, and I understand the reason why, but maybe John or Matt could explain what's going on here.
Good afternoon, directors. Matt Grote, Real Estate Program Manager for Safeco. Yeah, we recommend this item be dropped from the agenda because since the last meeting, staff has reached an agreement with these property owners and no longer need to proceed with this resolution.
Thank you, Matt. I'm going to use the chair's prerogative and go ahead and move the staff recommendation to drop the RON from the agenda.
Jennings will second that.
Jennings, second. Any comments or questions? Okay, Lindy, call the vote, please.
Thank you, Director Conant. Director Conant,
Aye.
Director Avdis,
Aye.
Director Jones,
Aye.
Director Holloway,
Aye.
Director Shaw,
Aye.
Director Ashby,
Yes.
Chair Harris,
Aye.
Director Jennings,
Yes.
Director Desmond,
Aye.
Director Hedges,
Aye.
Vice Chair Kennedy,
Aye.
Director Natoli,
Aye.
Director Cerna.
Aye.
Motion passes with 13-member approval.
Thank you. And we'll move to item 7.
Separate matters, item 7 is a public hearing, resolution of necessity number 2021-132, authorizing a change in public use of Sacramento County Assessor parcel numbers 225-0210, 026, 027, 028, and 225-0210, 029. Property owners Alan and Colleen Matsumoto as trustees of the Alan Matsumoto and Colleen Matsumoto 2007 Trust, and Setsuo and Karen C. Masaki as trustees of the Setsuo and Karen C. Masaki 1992 Trust et al.
And is Matt presenting on this one?
Yes.
Yes, I am. Good afternoon again, directors. This is Matt Grote, Real Estate Program Manager with Safeco. So as mentioned, this resolution of necessity number 2021-132, it's a bit different from previous resolutions that have been brought before this board, in which this one authorizes a change in the public use for a portion of the property that was previously acquired through an eminent domain action. So, Linda, you can go to the next slide. Thank you. So on December 20th of 2018, this board adopted a resolution of necessity, resolution number 2018-122, authorizing the condemnation of property necessary for the Reach B component of the American River Watershed Program, Natomas Basin Levee Improvement Project. On May 18th of 2021, the Sacramento Superior Court entered the final order of condemnation in Safeco v. Matsumoto et al. Superior case number 34-2019-00251-337, and thereby transferred fee title of the property over to Safeco. So since the initial acquisition of this property, staff have identified a new use for part of the property acquired through the process that was described above. And pursuant to California Code of Civil Procedure, Section 1245.245, changes in the public uses of property acquired via condemnation require a subsequent resolution of necessity authorizing said changes or additional uses before the agency may make use of the property. Next slide, please. So the subject property here is located east of the Garden Highway between San Juan Road and Farm Road in the Natomas Basin area of Sacramento County. And as mentioned, Safeco acquired the property in part for the construction of the Sacramento River East Levee Reach B component of Natomas Basin project, and also to exchange the eastern portion of the property with the Natomas Basin Conservancy. So here we have the map of the Natomas Levee Improvement Project reaches, and this property is located right on the border between Reach B and Reach A. Down in the bottom left-hand corner, you can see it designated with the arrow. Okay, next slide, please. So here we have a map of the American Watershed Common Features 2016 project improvements. And these improvements are relevant here because the portion of the property for the proposed use change, the mitigation habitat will be used to benefit activities that take place for this project also, for the ARCF 2016 project improvements. Next slide, please. So here we have attachment C, which is a sketch of the property in question. The Matsumoto property referred to it as, it's the 4 APNs, 2025-210-026, 027, 028, and 029. And you can see with the arrows toward the middle of the exhibit, the property is divided roughly in half between a western and eastern portion. The western portion of the property is going to be used for the flood control improvements, and the eastern portion of the property, labeled as proposed use area, will be used to plant and establish habitat as mitigation for grassland and woodland impacts. Next slide, Lindy. And one final exhibit, zoomed in a little bit more. Here is Safeco's original acquisition exhibit for the fee acquisition of this property. So here is that the 4 APNs, roughly 90 acres were acquired in total. Next slide, Lindy. So attachments D through D3 of the staff report is the project description and necessity for the acquisition, the environmental compliance documents and considerations in selecting the mitigation sites, and design analysis for the relocated irrigation and drainage canals. Attachment E is a memorandum providing an overview of the requirements, reasoning, and design objectives for the woodland habitat proposed as mitigation for impacts resulting from the implementation of the project. And attachment F is a project summary of the American River Watershed Common Features 2016 project that were shown on the earlier attachment B. And that summary includes the Sacramento River seepage instability and erosion items, the American River erosion items, east side tributaries, and the Sacramento weir and bypass widening activities. So as was mentioned up front, Safeco is bringing this item before you because we've identified a change in use for a portion of the property, and that is the eastern portion of the 4 parcels in question. So originally, Safeco intended to exchange the eastern portion of the property for land adjacent to the project that is currently owned by the Natomas Basin Conservancy. However, upon further refinement of the project plans, Safeco has determined that the property will provide the greatest benefit to the project and public if Safeco retains ownership of the entire property and develops it to provide mitigation required to construct other portions of the project, as well as provide mitigation required for the ARCF 2016 project that was mentioned before. So finally, on November 2nd of 2021, Safeco did mail a written notice to the previous owners of the property advising them that this board would hold a regular board meeting today at this time to consider the adoption of a resolution of necessity to change the public use over a portion of the real property. And that is all I have for you this afternoon, and I'd be happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Matt. Do I have any questions from directors? Nobody's speaking up. Matt, I do have a question. How is it that it's more advantageous for Safeco to do habitat mitigation on the property and hold it than do the swap with TNBC? I mean, what was the actual reasoning for that?
Well, over the last year, Safeco's relationship with TNBC has changed, and the property we were going to swap with TNBC was originally going to be agricultural reserve land that was going to be used as part of the Natomas Basin Habitat Conservation Plan. But like I mentioned, our relationship has changed a little bit with the Natomas Basin Conservancy. So as a result of that, we had to go back and take another look at the property to find out how it could be, how it would be best used to benefit the public in the project. And we've decided that it'd be best for us to just retain ownership of the entire property and develop it ourselves, the mitigation environment.
Okay, very good. Any other questions from directors?
If I may interject a little bit, we will still be swapping a piece of property with TNBC. It'll just be a different property. If the board remembers, we declared the AKD property surplus several months ago and are going through the process, which you will probably see at the December meeting, to provide that property to TNBC rather than this property.
Okay.
Through the chair, Conan.
Yeah, go ahead, Conan.
So was there any comment from the previous owners in response to your letter?
No, we have received no comment.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Chair Harris, this is Jeremy Goldberg, Agency Counsel, and in that vein, because this is a public hearing, we'll need to open the hearing and consider any public comment, including from the Matsumotos that they may offer.
Yeah, thank you, Jeremy. So at this point, I will open the public hearing. And Lindy, do we have any public comment on this item?
I have not received any, Chair Harris, and I did just check my email again.
Okay, thanks so much for that. Thank you, Jeremy. At this point, I'd entertain a motion to close the public hearing and a motion, however you would like to do it.
Move to approve, Conan.
Second, Desmond.
Very good. We have a motion from Matt Conant and a second from Rich Desmond to move the staff recommendations. Any further comment? Call the roll, Lindy.
Thank you. Director Conan,
Aye.
Director Avdis,
Aye.
Director Jones,
Aye.
Director Holloway,
Aye.
Director Shaw,
Aye.
Director Ashby,
Yes.
Chair Harris,
Aye.
Director Jennings,
Yes.
Director Desmond,
Aye.
Director Hedges,
Aye.
Vice Chair Kennedy,
Aye.
Director Natoli,
Aye.
Director Cerna.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes with 13-member approval.
Thank you very much, Lindy. I think that concludes our formal agenda, correct?
That is correct.
So do we have any comments or concerns from directors of the board? Seeing none, I would like to wish you all a very happy Thanksgiving. I hope you have a wonderful week. And Lindy, your slideshow with the autumn theme is quite lovely.
Thank you. And
Beautiful.
happy Thanksgiving to all of you as well.
Yep,
Beautiful.
back at you.
Have a wonderful Thanksgiving and be careful out there.